Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Hey, we're going to start I started on this tractor, but I'm going to go ahead and record this process of putting a 3-point and a rear PTO on this John Deere 455. I started out by taking the 2 bolts out of the footrest to the fender. 2 bolts on the left, 2 bolts on the right. There's 2 bolts that hold the top of the seat pan down. Unhook your tail lights and your seat switch, and this is what you're looking at. Cleaned all the dried out grass off of it. I blew it all off. All we've done so far is we've taken these 3 bolts out of this side of this hitch, and I've drained the oil out of here. And I'm saving the oil because this was changed last year, so I'm just recycling it into this bucket, gallon jug, and I'm going to put it back in here when I'm all done. But what this is going to consist of is going to consist of taking this rear cover off. Only one switch. We've got to run we've got to add a PTO module up under the hood at the end, and then I've got to add a wire. There's a small wire assembly that the female part of the wires hang underneath, and we'll just run it to the 2 switches on the rear PTO. This is how we're going to start out. We're going to take all these bolts out. I've already got these bolts out right here. These are the long bolts that'll actually, they're used off the rear PTO. These are the short bolts we're going to reuse on the rear PTO. You've got, on the rear PTO, you've got 4 long bolts that hold the 2 parts of the PTO together, which are these here, these long ones that run through. Anyway, I'm going to try to record this, pulling this apart. It's not hard to do. I may do 2 videos, one of this and one putting a 3-point on it. We'll see how it goes. I don't have a tripod, so I got a different phone, and the tripod I got doesn't fit this phone, so I'll do the best I can. I'll position it in the best place I can where it doesn't get in my way and I don't block all your view, but let's get this started. Okay, let's see if this camera can get right in my way. Okay, we're going to start by unhooking this wire up here for this sensor or solenoid. Just squeeze and pull. That's it. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and take these two bolts out of this. Your hitch may be a little different if you've got a 445 or a 425. These bolts are usually super tight. Make sure your tractor's sitting on flat ground, because if you've got it, one side up higher than the other, sometimes this hitch is a real pain to get back on because the holes won't line up. I'll have to use a wrench up here, it looks like. Try to bust it loose from the outside. Not much room on this side over here. Okay, I'm just going to fire this. So let me get a wrench that size. I think it's going to be is it 11/16? Be a 3/4. Got one more to go. Maybe get a hammer I can tap on the wrench. Go up front, and we'll tap on this wrench and see if it'll knock it loose. There we go. Okay, wrench on the inside. And once you get it loose, they'll usually thread right out of there. One more. Yeah, on this tractor there's 3 on this side and 2 on this other side. should be it. Okay, hitches down. Set it to the side. I've already taken the factory 3-point off this. I actually put the parts on this, off this on a 445. Okay, so now we're going to pull this cover off. Get my tool set up. I'm going to put a pan under the transmission just to catch any residue that comes out of it, even though I drained it. Okay. What size is it? It's like a 12 millimeter fits it good. Let's go with a 12. And we're going to take these bolts out around the perimeter. I'm going to start at the top. Come down the side. Like I said, I've already taken these other bolts out. I use the shorter bolts on the plain cover. I put back on the 445. All these bolt turrets, they're all the same size. Okay, it looks like that's it. Then we're going to take a, let me get a dead blow hammer. Don't want to break anything. These are held on here with a kind of like a RTV. I'm going to use Right Stuff by Permatex. It works out pretty good. It's about the best stuff you can use for a gasket maker. I'm going to tap this cover. May have to get out the big hammer and screwdriver. You just got to get that. You got to get that bond knot loose. It doesn't take much. Okay, it's already coming loose. So we're just going to tap this cover till it comes off, and you can see I got a little bit of residue coming out. You can see the gray silicone that they had on it. Okay, cover's off. Then we're going to change out one gear. I'll show you that here in a second. So let's put this out of the way so it doesn't make a mess. Okay, we're going to pull this gear off down here. See if you can see it. Yeah. We're going to pull this gear off here. There's a snap ring. It's an external snap ring at the bottom holding it on. Let me get my snap ring pliers. And we'll do that. This isn't a hard job. It's actually fairly easy. Okay, we're going to find the two holes in the bottom of this snap ring. I can't see it because they're at the bottom, so I'm going to see if I can feel it. Okay, run the holes. We're going to squeeze the snap. No, I wasn't in the holes. See if I can get it moved up. Don't want to get in your way. Let me get a flashlight. Let there be light. Should make it a bit easier. Still trying to stay out of your way. Insert your snap ring pliers in the snap ring. Squeeze over the shaft. Don't let this go. You're going to be reusing this. So set it to the side. Then this gear here, you're just going to wiggle it. Sometimes you can use a pick. Oh, there we go. Slide your bottom gear off. That's your gear. The deeper side always goes in on these. You can see how good a shape these transmissions are. Just about bulletproof. I've never had a 400 series tractor with a bad transmission. We're going to put that with a cover since we're not going to be using any of this stuff. Move our bolts out of the way. Let me get a rag and we'll wipe this, wipe the bottom of this cover out. Wipe the bottom of the transmission out. We'll get a razor blade and we'll clean all this silicone residue off. There's not much on here. I don't think this one's been opened up because from the dealer or from the manufacturer, it's not all gooped on, so you don't have to overkill the use of silicone in these covers. It's 2 machine surfaces, and it's gonna seal. You don't have to have a large amount of silicone. You don't want that silicone getting tied up in the all the veins and stuff inside the transmission. So don't get crazy on the silicone use. Okay, you got to pay attention here. You got a roll pin or what do you call it? You got a bushing. It's skipping on my mind what it's called, but you got a dowel pin. You got a dowel pin at the bottom, and you're going to have a dowel pin up here at the top. A lot of times they stay in the other covers. It is in the new PTO cover, so we'll be okay. That one's not. This one isn't. This one is. And I don't think much needs cleaned off of this. The surface is pretty clean. Yeah, looks good to me. Let me get a razor blade just in case. We'll go over some of the spots. Get a putty knife. Yeah, there's not much here. We're going to take some brake clean and we're going to clean this surface off really well. You put your right stuff on. You don't want any grease or anything on there. I like to get all these small pieces of silicone off. You don't want to dig into this surface. That's going to continue to run out. Okay, that looks good. Let me get some brake clean. We'll go over that surface. Make sure this surface is clean and free of oil. I will wait until this is done running out to put the cover on. Okay. That surface is clean. I'll come back. I'm going to have this won't be running out anymore. You don't really want, oil running through where your silicone is going to be set up. That's clean. Let's put the bottom gear on. So this is your gear for your rear PTO. Doesn't matter where it doesn't have a timing mark, so it doesn't matter. Just make sure you line up the teeth. And There you go. And we'll take that snap ring, we're gonna go down this hole. So I'm gonna move this light, if it'll stay. Let's put it there. We're gonna take our snap ring that I put to the side and didn't lose. When I open these rings up, I always put my finger around it just so it doesn't fly off. You're gonna get it around the shaft, and then you're gonna take I usually take a screwdriver and we'll help push it on. Let me grab a screwdriver. You never got all the tools you need. We'll push it with the screwdriver until we hear it snap, hence the name snap ring. So we're gonna go to the bottom, we're gonna push. There we go. You're listening for that snap. Then just look at it, make sure the snap ring's together, which it is. It spins, it's in the groove. Okay, I'm gonna clean the rear PTO cover up, and I'll be back after that and I'll show you what to do. Okay, I'm back, got it cleaned up. I actually raised this tractor up on the left side and pulled this plug out and got more oil out of it. I don't want any oil puddling up down here when I put this cover on. So this is your rear PTO assembly. And what I'm going to do is there's a factory O-ring in this circle here. There's a factory O-ring that goes around here. I'm going to leave those alone. They're still in good shape. But I'm going to take Right Stuff. I buy this by the tube. I've been using this stuff for about 15 years and it works awesome. If you don't want to have a leak, you want Right Stuff. It's expensive. This tube I think is around 40 bucks, but I mean it lasts a while, and it's a guarantee that you're not going to have a leak if you're using this stuff. It's not so easy to get back off, but yeah, it works great. So I'm just going to put a thin layer. I'm going to put it on my finger. It's also hard to get off your skin without brake clean. So I'm not going to get carried away. I'm going to go over the whole perimeter of it. And I'm just going to put a coat. Like I said, these are two machine surfaces. Or this one, not so much. This one's got paint on it. But I'm going to go over it with this. Put a thin coating all the way around. You don't want, all the silicone building up in all the moving parts of the transmission when it squeezes it out. So don't get crazy with the amount you use. I pulled engines apart and blue silicone in the oil pump pickups. You don't have to get carried away with silicone. Just a thin coat all the way around. And there's that locating pin, that dowel pin up here. And then you got one over here. And this one's missing on this PTO, so it'll go in the missing hole. I do the same thing when I redo motorcycles. I put a thin coat, like where the cases go together. On your other covers, I usually put oil on them, so like your clutch cover and stuff, and stator covers, so you can get those covers back off. The gasket does fine holding it. And if you put a little bit of oil on it, when you go to take it back off, it'll come off without ripping the factory gasket. But in this case, there is no gasket on these rear covers. John Deere used looks like a gray RTV, some kind of gasket maker on it. Okay, it looks like we got it. We got a thin coat all the way around. That looks good. So now we're going to maneuver this cover into place. Let me get this silicone off my finger. Brake clean or carburetor cleaner is about the only thing that will take this stuff off. And I've noticed if you use a rag when you're putting it on, everywhere you wipe, you end up getting Right Stuff everywhere. Kind of like when you use anti-seize, it ends up every place. and then get rid of that shop towel so you don't use it again. Okay, all we're going to do is just slide this into place. We're not going to touch the siliconed area. You'll have to work this gear to line up to this gear, this bottom one. You can spin the PTO to do it. You're going to pick it up, going to slide it in. Kind of hard to do to stay out of the way of the camera. Get this out of the way. There we go. You'll know when it hits. There we go. We just hit. Okay, once you get it up there, you want to take a deadbolt and you're going to seat those locating pins. Almost. We're in the bottom, we just got to go on the top. You don't want to hit this. This would be a lot easier if I wasn't trying to block the camera. Not yet. Let's take that locating pin out and let's insert it in the top. See if that helps us any. Sometimes it will. Okay, locating pin's out. We'll install it in the top and then we'll try this again. I got plenty of oil on these. This one felt like it was in, so let's give it another shot. Looks like we're there. Yeah, we're there. There. Look underneath. Let me block your view. Yeah, we're against all the way around. That's it. Now we're going to start putting the bolts in it. I got right stuff on me. Okay, we're going to put the long bolts in first. That's going to be this one here. They're a lot longer, those bolts are. It's going to be this one here. You'll know when you're in the right hole. If it doesn't slide all the way in, you got it in the wrong spot. And there should be one down here. And we should have one on the other side. Should be right there. Okay, then we'll go ahead and go around the perimeter. We'll put the rest of them in. When you get that cover set on there, you'll know when you're in the spot. You'll feel it. It'll kind of lock onto those locating pins, and then you'll have to tap it to get the PTO to slide over the locating pins. You just don't want to try to force it if you don't feel it locked in there. We got two more. One down that hole. And one at the bottom. That's it. Then I'll go over these with this electric impact. I'm just going to barely tap them into place. and I'll finish by hand. Okay, that's all of them. Then I'll go over it with a extension and a ratchet. Don't know what the factory torque is on these, but about a half a ugga-dugga. Don't want to get crazy. I'm already seated. Missed one in the corner. You just don't want to hammer down one whole side all at once and pull the cover on there crooked. That's why you go, you know, kind of go left to right, top to bottom. You don't want to get crazy because you're going into aluminum. So I just go over all of them again, make sure I got them all. If I missed one, I'll find it. Like I said, not crazy on how tight you get it. That's why I missed the second time. I think that's it. Got them all the way. That one, that one, that one I got, that one I got, that one I got. All up here, these are done. Okay, that is installing the rear PTO on the John Deere 4X5 series. This should cover the 425, the 445, the 455. They have the same setup back here. Like I said, this was on a 445. Actually, it's been in the channel. I had a 425 and a 445 with all these optional parts on it, and I couldn't get rid of the 445 with the rear PTO. So I removed it off the 445, sold it like instantly. Had a guy looking at it that didn't need the rear lift, and he did need the PTO. He was going to give it to his father as a mower. His dad had one and it had a lot of hours on it, so he bought mine, and yeah, it's gone. But yeah, that's the rear PTO install. You have to run the harness under the belly of the tractor. There's a plug in there from the factory. You got an extension harness. I'll show it to you if I can find it. There's the extension harness. You're going to plug this in under the belly of the tractor right here. And there's the two connectors that go to these two connectors. And we'll button this all up, and I'll take the camera off the tripod, and actually the tripod I found, I'll take it off the tripod, and I'll show you how to hook up the module. Plug this in before I forget. We'll hook up the module, and we'll hook up the wiring. But yeah, that's it. That's a 440. That's a rear PTO install on a 445. I've got a bracket to put on the side. I'll probably turn the camera back on and show you that. Then I've got pieces that go in here. And it's been a couple of weeks since I took it off the 445, so I'll probably struggle, but I'll put it all on video so you guys see it. I'll be back in a second. Okay, now we're going to install the arm for your rear PTO. It's got a roll pin. It goes through this piece coming out of the rear PTO, the selector shaft. You want the roll pin started in the hole, but you want it flush. You're going to slide it on. You're going to grab the flashlight so you know where you're at. And this is always in the way. And you're going to tap. You'll feel it when you're in the hole, which is right there. You're just going to drive it home. You're going to drive it flush. Okay. And this is how you select. There we go. Okay. And that's rear PTO off. That's deck and rear PTO. And that's just rear PTO. It also controls the speeds. I'll put a photo of what this position does. Okay, I got the harness ran. I didn't film it. Just run this harness to the belly and plug it in. I mean, there's nothing to it. Run it through here where it doesn't get in the way and nothing interferes. It's not going to get smashed. That's pretty much the rear PTO install on a 4X5 series. So I think I'm going to start another video. I don't know, I may go ahead and add it to this one. We'll see how it goes. I don't know how long I've been filming yet. But yeah, rear PTO install. All we have to do is put this bottom piece on, which you don't need a video for that. It's 5 bolts. And fill your diff back up, or your transmission back up. Yeah, that's it. And then I may have a separate video on the 3-point, but I may add it to this one. But yeah, okay guys, if I got another video, thanks for watching this one, and you can watch the 3-point video on the upcoming. Okay guys, till the next one.